There comes a stage in every person's life when the distractions become louder than their dreams, when the world pulls them in a dozen different directions, when every notification, every opinion, every expectation tries to steal their focus, their peace, and their potential. And in that moment, a person has two choices. They can follow the noise, or they can lock in. Locking in is not just a strategy, it is a mindset. It is a commitment to yourself, a vow that nothing on the outside will be allowed to destroy what you're building on the inside. It is the point where you decide that your purpose, your vision, and your growth are more important than any distraction, excuse, or temporary feeling. To lock in is to declare to yourself that your potential matters, your future matters, your dream matters. And the moment you decide that everything else becomes optional, locking in requires clarity. Before you begin any journey, you must know what you want. You must know where you're going. Too many people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack direction. They move through life without intention, without focus, without a clear target. But when you lock in, you give yourself a target. You give your energy a home. You give your actions a purpose. Think about the great achievers of history, athletes who dominated their sport, scientists who transformed the world, entrepreneurs who built empires from nothing, artists who created masterpieces that lasted generations. These people had the same 24 hours you have, the same doubts, the same fears, the same challenges, but they had something few people ever learn to master. They knew how to lock in. While others were distracted, they were focused. While others quit, they kept moving. While others listened to excuses, they listened to purpose. To lock in means to protect your mind, because the mind is the battlefield, the place where dreams either grow or die. When you allow negativity, comparison, and distractions into your mind, you lose power. But when you clear out the noise and guard your mental space, you become unstoppable. Locking in is not about perfection. It is about discipline. It is about showing up every single day, even when you don't want to, even when you feel tired, even when motivation disappears, because motivation will always fade. It is unreliable. It comes and goes with your mood. But discipline is different. Discipline is built. Discipline is trained. Discipline becomes a habit that carries you when motivation falls apart. When you lock in, discipline becomes your anchor. It becomes the force that pulls you forward even when everything in you wants to stop. There will be moments in your journey when the process feels slow, when results feel invisible, when your efforts feel unnoticed. But this is where most people break. This is where most people quit. This is where most people convince themselves that what they want is too hard to achieve. But not you. Because you are learning to lock in. And when you lock in, you understand something powerful. Progress is not always visible. Growth is not always obvious. Transformation is not always instant. There are seeds you plant today that will not bloom for weeks, months, or even years. But if you stop watering them, they will never bloom at all. That is why locking in matters. It keeps you planting, watering, and nurturing even when the world cannot yet see the results. To lock in is to learn patience. To lock in is to trust the process. To lock in is to believe in your path even on the silent days. People will not always understand your commitment. They will not always support your goals. They will not always appreciate your sacrifices. When you lock in, some people will think you are obsessed. They will think you changed. They will think you forgot about them. But the truth is, you did not change. You simply discovered your purpose. You simply realized you cannot grow while staying comfortable. You simply decided that your future deserves more from you. When you lock in, you begin to distance yourself from things that no longer align with where you are going. Old habits fade away. Old distractions lose their power. Old environments become too small for the person you are becoming. You start choosing long-term growth over short-term pleasure. You start choosing consistency over convenience. You start choosing purpose over impulse. And this shift will feel uncomfortable at first, because the mind is used to ease. It is used to comfort. It is used to routine. Breaking old habits feels unnatural. Building new ones feels heavy. But that discomfort is the birthplace of transformation. That discomfort is the sign that you are breaking out of who you were and becoming who you are meant to be. Locking in requires sacrifices. You may have to sacrifice late nights. You may have to sacrifice entertainment. You may have to sacrifice relationships that drain you. You may have to sacrifice the version of yourself that settles for less. But every sacrifice you make is an investment, and every investment compounds. You will begin to think differently. You will begin to act differently. You will begin to see differently. You will begin to believe differently. Locking in sharpens your mind. It strengthens your spirit. It develops your resilience. Because to lock in is to train yourself to keep going even when others stop, even when the path is unclear, even when the results are delayed. If you stay locked in long enough, something powerful happens. The gap between you and the old you gets wider. The gap between you and your past grows larger. The gap between you and average becomes impossible to ignore. This is where confidence grows. This is where identity changes. This is where excellence becomes your new standard. Because confidence is not built from compliments. Confidence is built from evidence. Evidence that you can stay consistent. Evidence that you can show discipline. Evidence that you can do what you said you would do. The more you lock in, the more evidence you create. And the more evidence you create, the stronger you become. There will always be people who try to distract you. People who want you to slow down because your progress exposes their lack of effort. People who want you to quit because your consistency challenges their comfort. Do not let them derail you. Their limitations are not your reality. Their fears are not your truth. Their doubts are not your destiny. When you lock in, you stop living for the crowd. You stop living for approval. You stop living for opinions. You start living for purpose. You begin waking up with intention. You begin working with clarity. You begin moving with power. Locking in means narrowing your focus. It means identifying the top priorities that truly move your life forward and eliminating everything that steals your energy. Ask yourself, what in my life is holding me back? What habits are wasting my time? What people drain my motivation? What environments keep me small? What excuses do I keep listening to? And then remove them one by one, because you cannot lock in if you are surrounded by distractions. Locking in also means mastering your time. Your schedule becomes a weapon. You plan your day with intention. You decide what matters and what does not. You train your mind to focus on one thing at a time. You learn to say no to anything that does not align with your mission. Locking in means taking responsibility. No more blaming circumstances. No more waiting for perfect conditions. No more complaining about obstacles. The person who locks in understands that they are responsible for their progress and their growth. They understand that no one is coming to save them. They understand that everything they want requires effort, and they are willing to give that effort without hesitation. When you lock in, the world becomes clearer. Your vision becomes stronger. Your energy becomes sharper. You begin to see opportunities you once overlooked. You begin to attract people who match your ambition. You begin to step into the identity of the person you are destined to become. And the beautiful thing is this: the moment you lock in, life responds. Doors open, momentum builds. Opportunities appear, not because they were not there before, but because you were finally ready to see them. Locking in turns small steps into big results. It turns consistency into transformation. It turns simple habits into extraordinary achievements. But none of it happens in an instant. It happens in silence. It happens in solitude. It happens through discipline. It happens through commitment. It happens through locking in every single day, even when nobody is watching. You do not rise to your goals, you rise to your standards, and when you lock in, your standards rise. You expect more from yourself. You demand more from your effort. You hold yourself accountable. This is how success is built. This is how greatness is shaped. This is how legacies are formed. So today, make a decision to lock in, to focus on your path, to trust the process, to eliminate distractions, to commit to your growth, to honor your potential. This is your moment, your turning point, your breakthrough. Lock in for 30 days and your habits will start to change. Lock in for 90 days and your results will begin to show. Lock in for 1 year and your entire life will transform. The power is already inside you. The potential is already there. All that is left is the decision to lock in completely. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. Do not doubt yourself any longer. Your future deserves focus. Your dream deserves discipline. Your purpose deserves everything you have. Lock in, and the world will move for you. Lock in, and your life will shift for you. Lock in, and you will become unstoppable. Focus, commit, push forward, evolve, grow. Lock in. Your transformation begins now.